Hello everyone and welcome to Romula's stream! Hello everyone and welcome to the Berlin circuit as we're getting ready for Q1 here for the Romula round 4 I think it is. I'm British Coacher, I'm going to be your main commentator today, and I'm here with how do you pronounce your name, sorry, is it Kwan?
It's Kian GP.
Kian GP, welcome. So we're here today as the people are getting ready to go out and start driving. And yeah, let's hope for an interesting race. You got any predictions, Kian GP?
Honestly, I mean, if Dakar is Dakar racing today? Because if so, I think he could be a favourite for this. And otherwise, I mean, Outguard has been really quick in practice so far. I think Outguard could be a favourite to win this.
I think that's definitely a possibility. As we can currently see that the drivers are getting ready to start their laps. They're lining up. Here we can see Dom in that queue of drivers. If you can see, there's a real...
Kota, can you share your screen real quick?
I can't exactly.
If it's possible.
Hold on. I'm going to be honest, I cannot share my screen anymore.
Oh, okay. I have to join them. No, it's just because on my screen, the leaderboard is so big I can only see like the top 6.
You're alright. I'll keep you informed about the leaderboard, eh?
Alright.
Obviously this week is going to be the first format of the or the first trial of the new format of Q1, Q2 and Q3. Starting qualifying a little bit early today in 1 minute, then rather at the usual 3 PM EST, 8 PM BST. It's definitely going to be interesting for these drivers. They're going to have to keep on their wits a lot more, and with the sudden eliminations, these guys are going to have to be ready, and they're going to have to get these laps in with shorter sessions. As 12 minutes is being put on the clock, and we're almost ready to go, as the drivers are out on their laps.
They're all out on the track here in Berlin. Q1 of, as you said, Kota, this new qualifying format. It's going to be exciting to see who could get pole. Of course, it's more about trying to get through to Q2 in this situation. But Outguard was the only one to get a sub-minute lap time in Q1 and 2. So it's going to be interesting to see if anyone can challenge him in that aspect today.
It definitely is. As we're on board with Cubison at the moment. Or we're watching him, sorry, we're not really on board. It's really interesting to see that new PNWT, or BMW team, or whatever they like to call themselves. It's a lovely livery, I think. It's one of the best on the grid, in my opinion, though it has received a little bit of hate for being a bit too basic. But of course, there's been a little bit of shuffling around in that team. How well do you think they're going to do today?
Well, I don't really know. Of course, with that shuffling around, as you said, it could maybe cause for a bit of mediocre driving or not the best performances. It's a tough one to say, really. I mean, anything could happen. So I feel like we just have to wait and see.
Anything could happen. That is the way of the world, I guess. It'll be definitely interesting to see how that team does today as Cubison starts his lap going nice and wide through the exit of turn 1. Of course, you've got this nice flat out, almost straight like corners through turn 2, 3 and 4, and it brings you onto these weird sweeping hairpins. Of course, Cubison absolutely mastering those corners as he comes into the sweeping sector. With this Berlin track, it is an incredibly short lap with Outguard being able to set, as you say, a sub 1 minute lap time as Cubison comes up to the hairpin now, getting through that with a gaggle of cars in front of him. Of course, Slipstream returns for the race, for this race, so we'll have to see if that bunches the field up, but he's coming through the S's now. We'll have to see how good his lap is and how far he can get that TMW team up the order as he's coming through the last corner now.
Cross the line. Where does he go? Is that P3?
P4 looks like.
P4.
But we've got to remember here. But we've got
Dom
to
goes. Yeah, it's Dom, right? Yeah, Dom goes
Dom.
P3, I think it was.
We've got to remember here that it's only the bottom 5 drivers that count. And while we talk about the bottom 5 drivers, let's talk about a driver in that bottom 5. Toots. If I can. Do you have any predictions at who could be eliminated here, RNG?
Sorry?
Do you have any predictions here who could be eliminated?
Ooh, honestly, I'm looking right now. Is it 17 people? Yeah, 17 people are in this. At the moment, I don't really know. Everyone's kind of putting in consistent lap times. Of course, the top 10 have all been in the 1 minute. No one in the sub minute yet, but I think it's the ones that are like in the 1 minute 2 and 1 minute 3s that will probably go down the order and get knocked out. If that's if that's going to be their best lap times, then that's probably going to be them out in Q1.
It'll definitely be interesting to see. Let's watch the man of the hour now as he goes through these sweeping sectors. Dakar 2, who a lot of people are actually predicting to take pole as his teammate goes up to P2, which is actually demoted to P3, with the train guard now taking provisional pole. Dakar's, of course, coming through these fast sectors now. I believe he's on a lap, so it'll be interesting to see where he can place today.
It will. He is the fastest man. Usually he's the fastest driver. He's the driver to look out for. I believe he did win last round. Was it him? Yeah, he did win last round. So he could be on course for yet another win today if he gets his act together.
He definitely could be. He definitely could be. But we'll have to wait and see what happens today.
Dakar going through. He's looking quick. He well, usually is quick, but he is looking good. Could he go for a lap time? That might put himself at the top of the standings. We'll see.
He's coming through those sweeping S's now, which is, of course, part of that final sector. Let's see if he can place it on provisional pole.
He's looking good. As he gets onto that straight. Dakar, what can he do? A 1 minute 1.6. Only 1/100 of a second slower than Fernand. It's a good lap from him, and what it will do for Q1. How will it shape up for him in the later stages of this qualifying session? I don't know. We'll find out.
Well,
As this is set to be a really good qualifying.
As you say, it'll definitely get him through. And that's all these drivers need to do at the moment, of course. All this becomes is them watching, is them basically learning the track more than they're already doing so. And as long as they can get through, they are happy.
Well, so far, Fernand, top of the standings. He's looking good. And teammate Outguard, the man who's so far been the only one to do a sub-minute lap time here. Well, he's in P4 at the moment, looking at a 1 minute 4. He's not doing too badly, Outguard, but I think it's really Dakar, and if we're going off of what we know so far from this qualifying session, Fernand.
As Fernand has a little bit of a bounce over the curbs there.
A moment. Oh yeah, he's off into the wall, I think, and he jumped out of the car. That's Fernand's attempt at a lap. Let's
review a replay of what happened there. So we can see Fernand going through the hairpin there, and he just goes a bit wide. And it shows you what can happen if you don't treat this track correctly. See, he just goes a bit wide and he loses it over that curb, and that ends his lap, unfortunately.
It is unfortunate for Fernand. Just went over the sausage curbs there and just lost it. I'm seeing on the replay now. Unlucky for Fernand. I think he was on for a good lap there, but these things happen. He's still on provisional pole here in Q1. No need to worry. Just go again. In theory, he doesn't even need to go again, as long as his lap time is good enough.
As we learn with another driver joining that now the bottom 6 will be eliminated. So that's everyone from P22 to P16? Yes, P16.
Yeah, I think so, huh?
So P17
goes to Q2.
So no, I believe it will be P17 and below. So from just Matt, Molt, Gui, Kiviat, lol _ and Toots at the moment. As we're watching ASM go through the first DRS zone on this track.
ASM, a man to look out for. He is quick in his own race, and at the moment P8. So I think be wary of him. He's a quick driver, and on his day he can challenge for a victory, I'd say. I remember him in Ion being really quick as well. He can. I think he could potentially challenge for a win. I don't see it in him at the moment. But as he crosses the line, will he go anywhere, or is that him starting a lap? I think that's him starting a lap, huh? Yeah.
But do you know who is putting in a stellar performance today? Kubison for that TNW team. Currently in P7 on those hard tyres, surprisingly. But he's done really well today to get that team that's frankly quite a bit underrated up there.
That's a very interesting strategy. Hards in Q1. I mean, it could work. I mean, Dakar's on the mediums, but everyone else is on softs currently. It's only Dakar and Kubison that aren't on softs. It's an interesting approach to things. I wonder if it'll work. Well, 2 minutes left on the clock, or 1 minute 45 left on the clock, actually. It could work for him.
It definitely could. It definitely could. But it seems like Toots is really struggling today with saying "Oh my days" in chat. Let's go on board with him now to see what he's doing wrong as he comes around to try and start another lap. Of course, coming through these fast S's now, hoping to set up that lap. Sparks really up there today as well, with them gaining P2 and P5. as Toots comes through the final sector now, following one of the Sparks cars. Let's see if he can finally get a lap on the board this time round. Coming up towards turn 1, he needs to keep this neat and tidy. Of course, a G-force getting a bit in his way, and he's gone wide there, but he's been able to hopefully not lose too much time. He only needs a 1-minute 1.0 to get through today. Going into that second chicane, and he hits the wall. That's unfortunate for him. He will not be through today.
That is so unlucky for Toots. He was on for a good lap, but unless he can make it round in time, I don't think so. He is done for. Oh, in the background there, someone went up in the air. That is from the sausage curbs, I think. Toots goes a little wide. I don't think he's going to make it. I don't think he's going to set or start a new lap in time. Unlucky for Toots. He is not making it through to Q2 as he goes off. So 5 seconds left on the clock. And anyone, as long as you cross the line now, it's over if you're outside of the top 16, is it? So, unlucky for Toots.
Toots obviously will not be getting through today then, unfortunately. Which sucks for him, but Cloxed is currently on a lap. Let's see if he can improve.
Could.
He's currently in P13, which is unfortunate for him. He's been doing a lot better than P13 this season, but he's coming through towards the final corner. Let's see if he can improve on that P13.
He very well could. Cross the line, here he comes. It's not really going to matter that much.
And he stays in
Crosses the line, he
P13.
stays. But it doesn't really matter for him because he's through to Q2. And here's your current unofficial, I could say, results from Q1. Fernan is P1 with a 1-minute 1:54, the fastest so far. Then Dakar, and then who's in third? I'm trying to see on the list. The Train Pig. From the Train Pig. Ooh. Sure they will. It's unfortunate for Toots, like we said, but it happens. And of course, you still have the race to make up all that lost time. So, well, I don't think it's too bad, but starting from the back is, never good. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. A lot of people so far have been caught out by those sausage curbs, it seems. So that could be something that could be prevalent in the race as well. It's going to be very interesting. It's going to be very interesting this Q2 then. Will Cubison still be on the hards? He could, if he still has that pace, he could very well qualify for Q3. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens in Q2. Ooh. It's going to be very close then. And of course, Q2 is where the proper cutoff has. It's whether it's the decider between who has to stay in the garage extra long and who gets to actually fight for pole position. So this is a really important qualifying session, especially for the drivers that were kind of lower down the order but still qualified. It's going to be really interesting, really important for those drivers, because it's going to be difficult for them. It is. He's been on his day, especially really quick. So I'm surprised he hasn't been promoted either. But I think he probably needs to prove a little more, maybe win some more races or something like that. But he's up there. I think he could. Oh, someone spun. Sorry, so someone in the back spun there as Wolf Landry was going past. But Wolf Landry, he could. I think he could qualify for Q3. To be honest. Oh, P3. A 1 minute 0.6, only to be beaten by Acer and Dom. Dom goes to P1 with a 1 minute 2. And then the Train Pig, everyone's crossing line. The Train Pig is now in P2. Fernand from P1 to P3. He's been demoted. And look at how close the lap times are between the Train Pig and Fernand. 0.004 of a second. Outguard crosses the line. Outguard goes P1 with a 1 minute 2.5. Or a 1 minute 0.25, sorry. It's going to be very interesting. Already Outguard getting closer and closer and closer to that sub-minute time. But will it be a thing, that sub-minute time, this qualifying session?
Of course, we're on board with Clockst at the moment. It'll be interesting to see where he can place. Coming through towards turn 1 now, keeping it nice and tight through there, bringing it out towards the exit. Now coming through that fast short straight towards the chicane. Got to keep it nice and take the optimal line through here, and then coming through that chicane, get as close as that to the wall on the left as possible, staying nice and tight, because of course you've got that left-hander, you've got to open up the right-hander onto that DRS straight, exit being so important here as we come towards that tight hairpin now. Coming through that hairpin now, of course, leading you towards this S section. What can Clocks do here? He needs a good lap to get into that top 8. Can he get there? Keeping it nice and tidy through here. It looks quick, but he goes over the barriers, and that's his lap done.
Oh, and he was on such a good lap as well. Over the sausage curbs. Unlucky. He had a rodeo there almost. And happens. But in these next 5 minutes, he can't afford to do that anymore. He really wants to be in that top 8, and doing stuff like that won't get you there. He does still move up a place into P13.
Let's see a replay of what happened there.
It was very interesting that he just went a bit wide.
Yeah,
there.
you
Maybe
can
a
just
bit deep even.
You can just see him go a tiny bit wide going through these corners. Just carrying a bit too much speed, unfortunately, for Clocks, and that's going to hold him back this session.
I think that's the corner now where often with drivers, if you make a mistake at a corner, that's impact from those sausage curbs as well. That's where you're going to be a bit worried about. You're going to maybe, a lot of drivers even will slow down at that corner a bit too much just because they don't want to risk it. So,
and that's what Clocks has done this lap. He slowed down more through that corner just to get a lap on the board. Let's see where Clocks can place today. But, of course, with it being so tight, he needs to have a competitive lap time. As he moves up.
Across the line he goes.
Moving up to P13 now.
Yeah, well, that's not going to help you in this scenario when the top 8 go through. Dakar, interestingly, is in P9. He's actually in the drop zone. So he needs to get a move on here with 4 minutes left in this session.
That he does, that he does. I think he's on a lap at the moment.
Is he? I can't find him.
Coming through these S's now.
Yes.
Oh, it looks like he's on an out lap, so we'll stay on board with him to watch his lap. Coming through these corners here, of course, these S's have been such a trouble for these drivers, and on such a short circuit, it is important that you ace every corner.
I think it really is. I mean, this is a track with a mix of 90-degree corners, so tight corners, and long, sometimes even short, twisty S's sections. So you really need to ace this entire track to really get a good lap time in. I mean, we saw in practice Outguard, who's actually set a 1:0 flat. He's oh so close to that sub-minute lap time. It's going to be very difficult for the drivers to just ace this track. That's really what you need to be able to do. It's that one lap that really counts in this scenario. And if you don't, you're going to lose a lot of time. And I mean a lot. This top 8 has already pretty much aced the track on their own. It's those little mistakes that can cost you half a second, maybe even a second.
Dakar coming through that last corner now. Where will he place today? Let's have a look. Can he get into Q3? Yes, he can!
Oh, 1:0.1. It's one of the best lap times we've seen today from Dakar. And that's going to move him up to second. And I don't think he needs to worry no more. Because he's going through to Q3, we think.
Here we can see Outguard on a lap now. Oh no, he's backed off of that lap. So I guess he'll be going for another one.
He's got time. He's got 2 minutes and 10 seconds. So I think he's got the time to set another lap.
He definitely does. He definitely does. Just about, at least. But is he going to go for one? It looks like he's just waiting into the garage. No, he is respawning his car. Is he going to go for that lap today?
Dom's on a good lap right now as well. Dom G, he's currently looking at a pretty good lap. Let's go to him, maybe.
Oh, he's just gone off!
Oh, he's gone off! As I say that, is that a commentator's curse? I don't know.
No,
he's gone off.
I think he set his lap time and then just gone straight on at turn 1.
Think so.
Because now he's in P2.
So
now he's in P2 with a 1 minute flat.
Oh yeah, sorry, that wasn't him starting a new lap, that was him finishing a lap, yeah. P2. And I think with 1 minute left, yeah, he's good, he's going to Q3. But Wolf Landry is now in that drop zone. So is Falcon, Cubeson, Clocks. It's looking so close for that final spot that currently is taken up by Chris Boy, I think. Yeah.
These drivers will have to be out there. They'll have to try and get a lap as soon as possible.
It's looking
as Wolf Landry's given up.
Oh no!
And Dakar's crushed his car!
Oh my goodness me!
Everything's happening all at once here.
Everything's going on. Dakar crashes, Wolf Landry gives up.
Ratty, one of the drivers at risk, coming up to the line now as well. Will he be able to make it into Q3 or not?
We're going to see...
No, he won't!
Oh.
But he has got time to set another lap. Will he go for it here? Going through turn 1 now. That's lovely from him. Is he going to be able to capitalise here?
He's looking good so far. His lines have been really good all weekend. He's just not got that right lap time, but through there...
Oh, he crashes! He's
Massive
crashed!
incident! And with 0 seconds left on the clock, it's him It's over. He's out
Let's see what
in
happened.
qualifying.
Let's see what happened there. That wasn't great for him. Watching a replay now,
Massive.
as you can see, he comes through that chicane and he just hits that curb.
Plow into the wall.
Yeah, just brings him into the wall, and that'll be his qualifying over.
Did he lose it? I think did he like lose the rear or something? Oh, he bounced off. Oh, that's unlucky. He bounced off the inside of the sausage curb and just had nowhere to go because of it. He had no turning, crashing into the wall, plow into the wall. Actually, unlucky for him.
Just as you say, incredibly unlucky for him today.
So the driver's out then, as Q2 has ended. We've got the top 8 going through to Q3, and the drivers out is Deferred, Wolf Landry, Rattier, Falcon, Cubeson, Clocks? Yeah, right, Clocks. And those other guys. Oh, what? I can't find them anymore.
Just Matt and Super. Just Matt and Super. The G-Forces. The G-Forces putting in a strong performance now with Chris Voigt getting through to Q3 and Defender in P9 just off that Q3.
Yeah, they're looking really good for the race. Chris Voigt, as you said, into Q3. Could he do some damage? Let's find out.
Could he do some damage? We'll have to see. Wait and see until Q3 starts. Which should be any moment soon.
Are you sure you can't share your screen? Because
I can't until basically I've got to wait until quali ends. Because when quali ends, I'll go to the credits scene. When we go to the credits scene, I'll quickly share my screen.
Okay,
Alright. Hold on, I might be able to do it. I might be able to do it now. Hold on.
It would be so much easier.
Yeah,
for me.
hold on. Let me do it now.
Half of the time I'm just searching for names. It's really annoying.
While we've got a second. There we go. Aha! Okay. Don't start Q3 yet, Caster.
By the way,
there you go.
Is my I read that I heard that my mic was echoey. I don't know how that is.
I think it's me. It's me.
Is it you? Okay.
Yeah, it's the stream. I know what it is. I can't fix that, I'm afraid, guys. I'm really sorry.
Well, so far, first two qualifying sessions have been pretty good. A few crashes.
While we wait for Q3 to begin.
Okay.
Fernand waiting at that light. Yeah, that's what he's doing. As we're away, who's going to get pole today is the interesting question. Of course, with such a small track, it's all about those minute mistakes. We'll have to see who is actually able to get pole today.
It's going to be interesting. Of course, as I said I think it was Q2, those little mistakes can mean so much. Little tiny mistakes that lose you 0.2 can make you feel like you've just lost a second or 2 seconds. So really, just don't make those mistakes. It's about really perfecting the lap.
That they definitely can. It'll definitely be interesting to see. As we're on board with Fernand now, we'll see how his first lap goes. He's definitely a contender for pole today. But of course, Dakar, with his record in row racing, it'll definitely be interesting to see who can get pole today.
I feel like if Dakia or Outguard could absolutely perfect this lap, they could be the ones to get pole here. I don't really see anyone else taking pole. Outguard has been the man that's just been there. He's the only one that sets a sub 1 minute lap in practice. It's really going to be interesting. It feels like anyone, like no one, only like one or two people can take pole, but then at the same time, it feels like anyone could take it. So it's going to be really exciting. And for the viewers at home, I'd stay watching. You never know what would happen.
It definitely is going to be exciting. It's Fernand now coming through that hairpin, coming towards those tight S's now. Let's see what he can do today. As he's coming through those S's now, he's got to keep it neat and tidy here, not do what Clocks was doing as he comes through that turn. Oh, he does just hit those curbs. Coming towards the final turn now, we'll see how much that's affected him. He might have got away with it though.
I think he has. Not too much time lost. Across the line, he goes P1 with a 1 minute. Let me see. 1 minute 1, that is.
Yeah, that's provisional pole for him, but Dakar hasn't set a line. Yes, he has. 59.9!
Oh my goodness! And I previously said it was only Outguard that could do a sub 1 minute. Well, Dakar has just proven me wrong. 59 seconds. That is unbelievable.
That is mental. Only the second sub-minute lap time we've seen so far. Oh, as we hear the live stream in the background from somewhere else.
On board with Fernand still.
Well, now on board with the train pig now. Or watching him. Obviously, the Golfs haven't been as impressive as impressive as they've wanted to be. With if we have a look at the championship order here, obviously only having one driver up in P3 with the train pig down in P10, but of course him making it into Q3 today, being able to get up into P4 is going to be incredibly helpful for him and his championship hopes. As he comes towards the line now.
Final corners coming up to the line, and across it he goes to go P4.
He may have been on an outlap, but I'm not entirely sure.
May have been his outlap, yeah, I'm not sure either.
Looking at the timing screen, it looks like that was in fact his outlap. So he's now on his lap now. He's got to keep it neat and tidy.
He really does. Oh,
that was
really clipping those sausage curbs.
Yeah, incredibly close to those sausage curbs.
Now this is the part that you don't want to mess up. Yet again getting really close. Here's the S's section. This is where so many people have clipped those sausage curbs and just made mistakes there.
Oh!
And he does that now! Across the sausage curb he goes. Time to go rodeo. Or even rallying. Final corner. That's going to mess up his lap a bit. But how much? We'll find out. It didn't help Fernand all too much. And it doesn't help him too much. He stays P4.
Yeah, incredibly jarring for him. I'm sure that won't do a number on his Robloxian's back. I'm sure he will definitely be feeling the after effects of that now. Let's quickly just get a replay of what happened there.
He went rallying, man.
Yeah. Going through those S's, of course, just going a bit wide, and it's a mistake so many of these drivers have done. You could just see what happens. So we watch it one more time. Yeah,
it just goes, he's got a bit too much speed, but that's probably the hardest corner on the entire track. Because if you take a bit too much speed, you're going to go onto the sausage curbs. And if you go too slow, well, that's your lap ruined. You're going to have a slow lap time. It's so difficult to get right. and it's going to pressure a lot of people in these coming 2 minutes.
It definitely is. It definitely is. As they're going to be starting their final laps now, trying to get onto that front or second rows as they really want to. As we're going to watch Fernand as he starts a lap now. One of the best drivers in this league, of course, the championship leader. But will this last for much longer with Dakar so close behind? Coming through turn one now.
First few corners, Fernand carrying a lot of speed, a lot of drag out of that first corner. It's looking good, but this is a part that so many people got wrong, yet he hasn't. Up so close to the wall, but he manages to survive. Now, he has been so quick, but like his last lap that we saw, it was just that little ride over the sausage curb that, well, didn't help him. Well, we'll find out if it will help him or not here.
Coming through those
Into the
S's now.
S's.
Will he make the mistake that so many drivers have been making? Keeping it nice and tidy here. Oh, so close though. So close to those sausage curbs. That's a real tough corner from them. Coming through the final corner now.
That's the best thing he could have done. Look at the drag he's got. And across the line, it's only going to be P2.
He doesn't improve by enough. Unfortunately for him, Unfortunately, he doesn't improve on that lap at all, but it's going to be incredibly tough for these guys. Of course, Dakar is actually just sitting in the garage at this point, so it'll be interesting whether or not he actually goes back out for another lap. No one's really improving anymore, but Aces just set a purple Sector 2.
Oh, wow. So Ace, a man who hasn't really been in the talks so far this qualifying.
Oh, but he's
actually gotten out of his car.
He's messed up his lap.
And that's him done. And how many seconds to go?
Only
a few more.
Less than 10 seconds to go now. Outguard's going to be the next person to try and get a lap.
Let's have a look at him then.
If
we can, of course.
Oh, might help if I actually had the right camera. There we go. Yep, that happened instantly. On board with Outguard now. One of the final people to try and set a lap today. Oh, he hits the wall going through there and he's abandoned.
He's done. And Outguard, the man who was in practice the only person to set a lap time under 1 minute. The Moroccan driver, one of the best drivers in Romula One. Well, he's going to start in P3 today. It's done and dusted for him. And it's done and dusted for the rest of them. Because qualifying is over here in Berlin.
So we'll join you in about 12 minutes for the race. But what an interesting qualifying. Any after thoughts to say towards that?
Honestly, seeing how it went, this race could either be chaotic or way cleaner than I think. Drivers are going to try and take that one specific corner that caught so many people out with the sausage curbs. Drivers are going to be careful, I think, with that corner. So I think it will still catch out a lot of people. A lot of mistakes will be made. And I think the grid order that's starting this race, that order might change drastically at the end of this race.
Wonderful, wonderful. So we'll catch you in 11 minutes. Ready for that race? Yeah, that's pretty much it. See you soon.
Hello.
Hello.
Just wanted to say that people can see that screen with the music.
Wait, actually? Can they like hear us if we speak though? Okay. Okay. Hello again, viewers. Can you quickly check management? No problem.
Yeah, hello. Yeah, okay, of course. Whatever works for you guys. Yeah. Cool, no worries. Caster's dropping names for you in management, I think. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for holding on with us for that couple of minutes there. I hope you got to calm down after that eccentric qualifying session. Well, for people who are a little confused as to the sudden voice change, Ryan is still here, but my name is Manu, and I will be joining Ryan for the extra commentary here at the Berlin Grand Prix for the Romula One.
By the way, Mano, it's not Ryan, it's Kian.
Kian,
So
mate. Sorry,
that
still working
that
on the names there.
that failed epically.
I'm very, very sorry. But yeah, well, Kian, why don't you tell us exactly, for the people who are just sort of joining on, what were the main key things to take away from that qualifying session, and
Well-
what can we expect for the race?
Well, Outguard is no longer the main man at this track, as Dake has joined the club of sub-minute lap times. Before qualifying, Outguard was the only one to do a 59-second lap. Well, no more. Dake took pole position with a 59.9, I believe it was, and beating Outguard's lap record this weekend. And Dake's looked really quick this entire time. Of course, I believe it was Fernand who got P2, who's starting on the front row alongside him. Then from Outguard, the man that I just told you about, Domji, the train pig, ASM, and well, yeah, the rest as followed. So I will. So well, how about I just go again with the qualifying order? Berlin Grand Prix. Qualifying was really close. Now here's your grid order for today's race. Dakar was the first man to, well, no, not the first man, the second man to make a sub-minute lap time. Sorry, I keep messing up. From Fernand, let me see, Outguard, Domji, that's row 2, and then the train pig, ASM, Chris Boy, Acer, the third, and Wolf Landry. That's your top 10. And then we have Ratty, Falcon, Cubeson, what's his name? What's his name again? Cox of something.
I think it's
Clocks.
clocks, yeah. Something.
Not Cox. Not. I should stop saying that. It's Clocks. Then just Miriam, Super. Is that Super Joe?
Super
Can't read
Jope,
that.
I think. Super Jope, yeah.
Okay, I have to zoom in like mad to read this. It's all just pixelated now. Let me. Okay, that's better. Then what's his name? Gil or something? Yeah, I can't read.
Some dude
Is
in
it-
P17, yeah.
someone. Okay.
Oh, that's a good shout.
Okay, that's actually a really good idea. Okay. Shall I go again? Shall okay?
I think yes. I think going again might be a good idea. Let's not from the top. All right.
I haven't done this in a while. Sorry, stream, if you're getting really bored of this. Remember, my name isn't Ryan, it's Kian. Okay, let's go again. Berlin Grand Prix. And here's the grid lineup for today's race. Dakar joins Outguard in the sub-minute lap time club as he takes pole position from Fernand, who starts in P2. Then on the second row is Outguard and Domji, followed by the Train Pig, ASM, Chris Boy, and Acer. Then the guys that were knocked out in Q2, Deferred, Wolf Landry, Ratty, Falcon, Cubesome, Clockst, Just Miriam, and Super something. So I'll just call him Super.
Super Jope too, yeah. Go for
Super
it, go for it.
Joper. Then is his name just Gaia? Because I can only
So I'm seeing it's GUI, like GUI.
GUI, okay.
Yeah.
GUI. Then Mr.
Mr. Cowpox.
Mr. Cowpox. It's not blurry, but I can only see the first 4 letters.
I get that. Yeah, no worries.
Okay, so Mount. Okay. I'll just say Mount. Kvyat, Lol, and Toots. I believe that's his name.
Yeah, we got there. We got there in the end.
Okay, we got there.
Yeah, good stuff.
Let's all forget that. Let's please go to the race.
So the usual suspect on pole position, not a surprise, not a shadow in doubt. Although the margin there wasn't as big as I was expecting it to be. We've seen insane gaps from Dakar in other leagues such as Ion, so I'm not gonna put the Crakes P2 P3 out of the fight here. They have shown just how well they can play with the strategy, etc. And Dakar's teammate all the way down in 8th. So he is definitely someone to be looking at. Can he get his way back up the field? Was the qualifying just a bit of a blunder there? And yeah, is there any cards you've got your eyes on?
At the moment, Dakar, Fernan, and Outguard are the ones to look out for. But the real thing with me is, it was really close between Dakar and Fernan. Is that Dakar being a bit out of form? Or is it that the competition is so close now? I can't tell.
Yeah, I don't. It's quite hard to sort of judge how form works in road racing. You know, it's not
Yeah.
like drivers get older and they get like slower. It doesn't really work like that. You know.
I mean, I don't know. Dakar's in his 20s now. Maybe he's slower with his mouse. Who knows?
Exactly. Who knows? Maybe his arm twitches or something are getting slower by the day. Unk might have to hang up his gloves at some point, but right now it doesn't seem to be the case. So he's still getting post positions. It still should be fine.
I mean, I also can't believe I'm saying, is he out of form after he just took pole? It's
Well, that's the media for you. We like to make
that's the
stories out of
media.
anything, you know. So we're just doing our job. No one should be hating on us.
But for the newer Roblox racing fans, that can also not be like given as just media, but also like he was so dominant back in the day, and still now, that a 2/10, 3/10 gap is nothing. Is almost like getting knocked out for him. Back
Exactly.
in my day,
No,
in the history
genuinely,
books.
you're not wrong because, I mean, for people who have been watching the qualifying sessions, the practice sessions, keeping up with that, just to give you an idea of just how insane this guy is, a driver missing FP1 and FP2 means you're going to be on the back foot for a race weekend. And Dakar did that. He missed FP1 and FP2, and I'm not even sure. I'm not sure if he even attended FP3, but came up here and he's gotten pole, and Brandstar will definitely be. They won't be sweating. Let's just put it that way. Dakar's. Sorry, what's the team in first place?
Oh my, Sparks.
Sparks. There we go. Sorry, I looked at their kit and I was like,
Oh
yeah,
my
that's
God.
Brandstar. Upstairs.
Brandstar.
I need to
Brandstar.
shake my cobwebs off, lads. Give me the shout of the doubt here. But yeah,
So yet again, for the newer Roblox racing fans, Brandstar is a team that paid Dakar unholy amounts of money to race for them. This is a history video now, not Romula One.
we're teaching people the sport we used to love. No, we still do.
Let's just get back to Romula One, shall we?
Yes. So enough of Dakar. I think we can talk about him later in the race when we're struggling to think of things. But tell us a bit about the other drivers then. We've got people at the back as well. I'm sure they'll be wanting a bit of the TV
attention.
time. Yes. So
Well,
any stories there?
Well, at the back, it was, what's his name? Toots. It's an amazing name. Who was really quick but could never put a lap together in Q1. And the actual lap where he could, well, then with a few corners to go, he screwed it up and he couldn't anymore. So he's really quick. I think he could potentially be a danger to the mid pack there. But if he's as inconsistent as he was in qualifying, it's either going to go one of two ways. He's either going to do really well or really poorly.
Yeah, Toots is a guy who, I mean, I've seen pace there, you know, but he's just never able to hook up the corners and put that lap into effect. And it's just it's a bit confusing. He's still to score a point this season, which is definitely a bit of a surprise. But maybe today could be different. Maybe today he could finally break his way into the points, and I wish all the best for him.
Okay, we're ready. Mano, who's gonna do like lights out and stuff?
I say you can do lights out.
All right,
More experience, so I'll let you go for it.
right. Well, 45 laps of racing action here. Is that the formation lap or
Oh, wow.
that's
Well,
lights out? You
it's lights out and away we go,
oh,
and
it's
it's
lights
Dakar
out.
for an
Oh,
amazing
that's
start.
so.
No worries.
Should have told
Shoot
us
into it.
earlier. Okay,
We'll just shoot into it. So
Dakar,
Dakar currently
Dakar
leading the
gets
race.
Dakar
Go for
gets
it.
a wonderful start there from. I can't tell.
From
Is that
Fernand,
Fernand?
and then we've had Outguard has had a really bad start there. He's dropped all the
Oh
way down
yeah.
into P10 at the moment. That's very confusing. I think maybe he just got as surprised as we were when those lights dropped. He's definitely maybe
Oh yeah, he
gone a
got
wee
a
bit
really bad
surprised there.
start. P10. It is for him. One man who got two men that got really good start. Chris and Zat. I'm not even defined or something. I don't know. But well, the G-Force boys, P7, P8, they're looking good. Oh, what's happened to Fernand then? He's dropped down to P5. He's not looking very. Wolf Landy's had a really good start as well, from P9 to P6. He's looking good. So the train pig, that's really looking good up there. He's in what, P3 now? Domji in P2. Here's the battle actually on board, and oh, it's looking very. I can't see. They're all behind us on this onboard.
You do have to give some time for the vision
Yeah.
lag. I've just been told by race control though that Dom's just been involved in a crash.
Oh, has
So
he
if we
now?
can, oh, he's out of the
Dom is
race.
out,
He's out. Goodness
ladies
me.
and gentlemen. Dom is out of the Berlin Grand Prix. We're not even a lap and a half into it.
Goodness me, that's actually caught me off guard.
That
I
has
was kind of hoping
unbelievable.
to see what he would do, but well, I'd be interested to see what he did there.
I'm caught off guard more about the start, to be honest. Here we
So,
go. Train Pig. Very close to Dake, yeah. Could this be a fight for the lead, potentially? Dake hasn't really. Well, he's gotten the chance to pull away. But it's like the Train Pig in that breakaway has been able to follow him well. So it's interesting to see what happens. In a way, unless they all spread out, it's kind of like cycling in a way. You have a breakaway, you have a big pack in the middle, and you have some drivers at the back. It's going to be interesting to see what happens here, as it's quite obviously, in this situation, Dake and the Train Pig trying to get
yeah,
away
I
and
know. So
potentially
Train
fight for the
Pig,
lead.
yeah, Train Pig, who he started at P6, and obviously with the bad start from Outguard and the retirement from Dom, he's gone and overtaken his teammate, and now he started ahead of his teammate anyway. He's overtaken the other Craig, and now he's currently in P2 at the moment, with DRS now being enabled. So is he going to finally get the extra horses down the straight to see if he can make the move? He's not alongside yet, but we should remember this
Oh, they're
is
getting close.
yeah.
As you
This
can
is
see
yeah.
in
Go
the
for it.
corner of your screen on board. And they're looking. Oh, that's actually some distance between the two now. So I think Dake's gonna just rock away, almost.
Now I hate to say this, but I have forgot your name again, mate. If you could just remind me.
It's not Ryan, it's Kian.
Kian, got
Okay.
you. Kian, right? Okay, Kian. You said I could be wrong. You did say somewhere that you have done a Romula race before, if I'm correct.
I think it was last season, but it was a race that that no one could stream. So like we were
Oh,
just
okay.
there. We were just there for fun.
For fun, yeah.
really.
So why don't you, if you could tell me, in this moment, you've probably been following a car, for a position. Is it? Wouldn't you say it's how do you find the vision lag, especially when chasing someone? How do you know that, like, okay, we might be able to be ahead of this car, we might not be ahead of this car? Because that's one of the issues, I'd say, when you come into a Romula One race, because it isn't like any other league race where with like.
Well, the thing is, I normally treat it like they're side by side. If they're like inside each other and one might be pointing out a bit more, treat it as if they're just like side by side, as in like in real life when two cars are just next to each other, like equal. I treat it like that because you can never tell, and with vision lag, I mean, someone could look ahead, but they might not actually be ahead. So stuff like that, where it's like, okay, they're still side by side, they're still side by side, trying to think of something to say. Oh, finally, someone's ahead. Stuff like that.
Exactly, exactly. And I think this is the issue that many of the drivers will be currently having. We're currently on board with Fernand at the moment. So this is a little bit of a gaggle that we've seen. So we've got the cars all the way from, could be wrong, but I'm gonna say it's a Craig sandwich at the moment from what I'm seeing. With all four of those cars on medium tires, apart from Acer, in fifth at the moment on the soft compound tire. So is that tire going to give him the initial edge over his competitors? And when is that edge going to go down? And when is the medium going to be more superior? I've not been able to have a look at the tire wear, but
Yeah. Well,
I,
I don't think the tires make that much of a difference, really. Well, maybe in speed, sure, but actually no, probably the exact opposite. It's a very twisty circuit, so lots of steering, lots of steering, lots of twisty, flat out corners, which could burn the rubber quite quickly. So maybe the hard tire or the medium tire might be the best long run, as we're here on board with ASM. This is the fight for third with, guess what? Outguard, who had a bad start, in third now. Think, yeah.
yeah, he's
So
back up into third, so that's a bit of a surprise. Didn't even catch that he's made it back up. Could be a timing issue, or it could just be that he's very fast. We'll have to figure that out later.
we'll have to figure.
But yeah, ASM currently right on the backside of Outguard at the moment. I'm trying to see. We have just gotten there.
Here's,
Race
oh yeah,
control.
here's
That train pig
here's
is now back
the
on
train
Dakar's
pig.
backside.
Look at that, and he's so close. DRS wide open. He's gonna go side by side with Daker, but is it gonna be the lead down into turn one? They are so close. Daker just inching ahead, but the train pig can get the exit. Will it be enough? Let's find out. Still side on side down into the, well, we're gonna see the S's now. But look how close they got to the wall. Daker got the exit on the outside there. Oh, so close, but Daka rocks away like he always does, and he leads still. Leaderboard says it's the train pig, but he gained a bit of time there, but he went a bit deep. So
Yeah,
different
Dakar with
lines
the
from the
inside
train
line.
pig. Different lines from the both of them. Daka with the inside line. It's so close between the two. Daka still ahead like he always is. He's not used to being behind anyone, so he's not going to let that happen. But the train pig might have something else to say. DRS open once again.
So Train Pig clearly has the pace advantage here with the DRS. He's trying to make a move again now, round the outside. He goes a bit wide, a bit more wide than you'd want to be, but he's still holding on to Dakar. They're down the inside right now, and I think he might have just made the move there. Could be very, very
It's
close.
very close. Oh, no. Dakar is still ahead. He's rocking away.
To think
the
Train Pig hit the wall.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but I think there was a bit of contact with the barrier, and that's just cost him the run.
Cost him
If we can get a
quite a
replay
bit.
of that, that'd
Let's
be
have a
great,
look
and I
at the
think we
replay
have,
here.
yeah.
Let's look here. The train pig, they're taking different lines. Dakar's utilizing the inside a bit more.
Yeah, there we go.
Wow.
There we go.
I think
So
he
that's
either
obviously,
went a bit wide, I think. Either that or he made contact with the inside of the sausage curb. No, he went a bit wide there.
Yeah, but going
And
back
that's
to live
lost him.
feed, yeah, it looks like it hasn't cost him too much. He's still there. I don't know if Dakar's on a conservative strategy here. You don't tend to see those in row racing.
No.
So I'm not sure. This genuinely could just be outright pace. And
This is...
I've just
they're
received
lapping a car
news.
now.
I hate to interrupt, but I've just received news that both Lenivas have DNF'd from the race. And
wow.
that is just horrible because that team has had 0 points in the last 3 races. You never want to see that as the team boss sat on the pit wall and they're going to get nothing in Berlin either.
Oh, that's so sad. And they were looking really good in practice as well, weren't they? P6 for one of them. And it's just all fallen down. Now let's look here. On board with Outguard. We're not necessarily on board. We're looking at Outguard though. And he's currently in P4. He got overtaken by ASM. And now he's trying to catch back to the back of him. Outguard, who started in P3, had a bad start, and by bad he went down to 10th, got back up to P3, and is now in P4 here on lap 11 of 45. Looking all right for points, but will it be good for him now? I think he's still in that championship fight, I believe. So Outguard would like to get a podium at the very least. So we're going to switch back to Train Pig. Look at how close he is to the back of Dakar. Oh, so
this
close.
is very clear pace advantage. I'm confident of it now.
Oh, Dakar just has the better lines. Dakar utilising the inside more. Now the Train Pig makes a bit of contact with the sausage curve. That's going to give Dakar a bit of room, a bit of space. Not anymore. No more. DRS open. And Dakar is being pressured once again. They're side by side. Dakar using that inside line, as you can see, once again. But the Train Pig, he's just edging further across from Dakar. As we look here, Outguard on the left-hand side of your screen. The battle for first on the right-hand side of your screen. They're looking oh so close. But at the same time, they're looking oh so quick.
It's very fast lines with both the cars at the moment. Dakar once again having to worry about Train Pig. Train Pig's now clearly found out that Dakar's got some defensive lines that he's able to use. And they're going side by side now through the S's here. Very tight corner. Train Pig hits the sausage curb there. And that will be just enough contact to keep Train Pig's run down into the next few corners and give Dakar a bit more breathing room. That was neck and neck. I think we'll get another replay of that just now.
Yeah. Look at how close that was here. Replay.
And there we go. Literally just caught that on the replay.
Went... Let me have
It was a very small bit of contact on that blue sausage curb, but that's enough to offset your run into the next few corners.
Yeah, I think, was it the blue sausage curb? Yes, it was. He just made contact with the right rear tyre and got very unlucky there. Yeah, bounced off. Well, he became a three-wheeler for a moment there.
I know, but he's keeping the pressure on. Golf v Sparks here, and we're on lap 13 at the moment, and I don't think there's much... there's a lot in it for these two drivers at the moment.
Here comes a Train Pig. Oh, so close once again. He's taken the lead. He's finally ahead. And finally, he's got a bit of room with him. Did Dakar make a mistake? I don't know. But now, for the first time this entire race, Dakar is the one with DRS. And he's going to utilise the straight line speed on his car. Will it help? Dakar on the inside line. He edges ahead of the Train Pig. And that lead for the Train Pig didn't last long. Bit of contact with the wall. And so close. But it's Dakar now with a bit of space between him and the Train Pig. Once again, this battle has been incredible. Now, here we see Asa and Fernand. Look at how close it is. It's the battle for 5th. And Fernand, who started from P2, wants to make ground back again. We've only got... Well, we're about a third into the race. So no time for slowing down here. With about half an hour left. Tyre difference here.
And Fernand's obviously on the medium, Acer's on the
Yeah.
soft. So I'm not sure just yet, but I think the cutoff might have started to kick in a wee bit. Soft usually tends to be a qualifying tire, ladies and gentlemen. So they would explain as to why Acer suddenly started to drop back on the pace. He's not really matching Dakar's times. And Fernand is now looking ever more hungry behind him down into the first turn here.
Oh,
Is he
yeah.
going to make a move? Very inside
Oh,
line.
Went a bit deep.
Switcheroo. And he's
Switcheroo
inside
indeed,
now. Both
Fernand.
the cars in between each other. Who's going to be the first car out of the next couple of corners? Acer's still trying to see if he can keep on board here. But Fernand is applying the pressure. And I think he might have just cleared the Sparks racing car right there. But Acer comes back again. And it is neck and neck with these cars. The Craig on the grass now, trying to use absolutely every bit, every inch of the runnable track here. Acer once again with a slightly more aggressive line into the hairpin. And I'm not sure here. It's going to take at least a mistake, another clip of the sausage curbs here to give one of these cars the position.
Honestly, those softs look dead. Yeah, and Acer pulls into the pit lane now as well.
You've called it. You have called it, yeah.
I've called it. Into the pits, Acer. First man to pit today. And yeah, those tires, he's going to hard tyres now. I think he's going to run the rest of the race. Those softs were dead. It's a track where you're steering a lot at high speeds most of the time. So that's going to destroy the tyres in itself. Softs, as you said, qualifying tyre is not very good in the long run. Here, back to the fight for the lead. The two medium tyre drivers getting so close with each other once again. We haven't seen that the first time. These two have been fighting all race long. I said there was a breakaway almost for these drivers. Whoa.
And I'm sorry to interrupt. But as we just left Acer, he then saw the red light in the pit lane and then proceeded to remain stationary for around 20 seconds. He's definitely lost a lot of time there. I don't even think he's in the top 10 now with Delta. He was sat in the pit lane for so long, and I'm not sure if it was an error management-wise, but that light was red. Pit lane was closed, and Acer just didn't leave. It's gone green now, and he's back on track now, but that's cost him a ton of time. Very, very big blunder.
Oh, train picks off! And he's lost the wheel as well. And not only that, but he's lost his chance of winning here in Berlin. Out.
Goodness me, no.
Oh my goodness. That was massive. It's big. And for the train pig, it's over and out. He went deep into the corner. Just a little deep. And the mistake he's made about 2 or 3 times before in this race has turned deadly. Because this time, a wheel is gone.
Let's pick up a replay there and see exactly how the train derailed. And I think it was just a bit of oversteer and straight into the wall.
Yeah, I saw. I was looking on the live stream. I couldn't tell. He didn't make contact with the curb or the sausage curb. He had the perfect line really, but I can't tell if he went a bit deep or if it was oversteer. But either way, he's done. He's dusted. A mistake he's made a good 2 or 3 times already in this race has turned deadly. And Berlin watch as the train pig goes out and Dakar rocks away into the sunset for yet another victory.
Train pig, he had a messy start to the season, DNFing in the first round and then a P16 in the second. But with 2 consecutive second places, we thought maybe Berlin was the final. It was going to be his insummation and get that first win he's looking for this season. But no, it's all gone wrong. The train pig has derailed, for lack of a better word, and that will leave Dakar now in a relatively comfortable position. He won't have to breathe down his neck anymore. We're currently on board with Wolf Landry now, having a look at a few of the other cars that are also involved in this 21 car race. Now, what can you tell us about Wolf? What? Any...
Well, he was quick in qualifying, but he doesn't really seem like he put that pace into the race, because here's Chris Boy and he's going to overtake him, and it's going to be an easy pass. It's going to be a pass that didn't look that difficult. I think Wolf Landry isn't really doing much to defend. It is wide goes Chris Boy. Back through goes Wolf Landry. Forget what I said. He's back through. It's looking good for Wolf Landry. This gap. Can he retain it? Here comes Chris Boy into the S's, a place where it seems like so many drivers are struggling. Will that be a place where a mistake is made? Over the German flagged curbs he goes. And Wolf Landry, to perfection, almost, goes through the S's. And that gap is... Oh,
And down
Wolf
into
Landry
the-
actually into the pit. Wolf Landry into the pit lane, as
Okay,
well
so
as
clocks
Clocks.
as well. Let's watch the compounds here. Let's see exactly what they're going for, because this will set the sort of trend
Yeah,
going
into
forward
the
for a
pit
lot
comes
of the
Clocks.
teams.
And he's doing the one stopper. He goes
Oh.
to Haas, and he beats Wolf Landry to the
Wolf
exit.
Landry, he's on the softs, so
Wolf
he's
Landry's on
probably
the
going to have
softs.
to go again.
He's doing a two-stopper then. There's no way he's doing 25 laps when, was it Asa, could barely survive 15. There's no way. There's no way. And looking at the gaps, actually 5-second gap now to Dakar, for Outgard to Dakar. It's looking good for the Frenchman. Is he gonna rock away to the sunset and then quickly go over to France and buy a baguette? Who knows?
Exactly. No, it's interesting. Now, I mean, we have had issues with tires in the past, especially that rainy race, season opener, where I think it was it Wolf who finished third on that insane strategy. I think he just stayed on the dries, didn't he? So he does tend to be able to take his rubber and completely destroy the physics that it's supposed to have. So don't put that beside him. He could maybe finish this race on the soft compound. We're just going to have to wait and see. However, Clocks has got ahead of him in that pit lane frenzy. And now, if you look just behind Wolf Landry, we've got the PMP car also like trying to see if we'll leave those two.
Well-
We'll leave those three to it. We'll go back to ASM.
Here's
Let's see
ASM,
exactly what they're doing.
and he's getting pressured from the unlikeliest of sources. Someone who was knocked out in Q1. Was it? Well, he was being pressured.
And
Now he's not. Now he's pushing up. But
So, yeah.
still, a driver that was knocked out in Q2. Well, he's up to in Q1. Sorry, he's up to P7. He is looking very good. And if we look to the leader, well, he's no longer the leader. Dakar is into the pit lane. And, well, what tire is he going onto? Hards for the Frenchman.
So to
He's
the
doing
end,
the
I'm
one
guessing.
stop too.
Yeah.
But the question is, could drivers that still have to pit on the mediums, could they go a long enough way to the point where they could afford to pit for softs and finish the race on softs? That's going to be interesting. I think some drivers will try and do it, but Dakar, he's going the safe route, a route that will probably secure him the victory here as well.
Yeah, it's hard to say exactly what strategy he would have gone with if we still had the train pig in the race. There could have been some sort of alternating strategy or something to try keep ahead. But with his real threat really out now, there's no need to go for anything crazy. Just finish the race on the hards, bring it home now. Unless the Craigs get a bit of a move on, I don't really think Dakar's going to be having to worry too much. But still, it'll be interesting to see what the soft runners are doing at the moment. And see if they're going to the end. Let's go back on board with Wolf now, actually, now that we're speaking about him. And
Coming
we'll
out
see
the
what he's
final
up to.
corner, Wolf Landry pitted for softs. It's going to be interesting what he does, as he will probably have to pit again.
Yeah, he's managed to get ahead of Clocks, and he's now just clear skies, clear track, just kind of try and see if he can close the gap between him and ASM. Currently looking at about 11 seconds, but at the same time, he's got to make sure that he can conserve that rubber if he is looking to take it to the end, and at the same time, keep the threat of the two cars behind him because they have DRS and Slipstream, if far I'm aware. So two tools that he's not really got to sort of move himself up the order. So it's going to be a bit of an effort, but he's a driver with solace and plenty amount of talent. I'm sure he'll be able to handle himself.
Daker has gone up to P3. He's overtaken Chris Boy. And Daker already, it's only a 13-second gap to him in Outguard. Seems if Outguard pits, it's gonna be a great lead for Daker. Maybe the undercut has worked with a good 20 laps left in this race. It's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, he's already started to make up some positions here and there. Currently a Craig 1-2 at the moment. I'm not sure if they've pitted yet or if they've just extended the rubber. But regardless of the situation, I will be surprised if the Frenchman doesn't get past them soon. So Fernand probably going to be dust off, and Outguard will take, I'd say, a couple more laps, and then we'll have Daker back in the lead. But obviously, for entertainment purposes, let's hope that someone else can take the fight to him in the closing stages of this race. Back on board with I say on board, we're watching him from the grandstands and the TV cameras. But Wolf Landry currently still keeping on his toes, keeping his wheels clean. Just coming around the final corner there to finish off the lap. Back on with ASM. Very, very wide there. I'm not sure if that's just him trying to be really aggressive.
Just so you know, Chris Boy's pitted because ASM is now up to P4. Chris Boy flying down those ranks. Wolf Landry up to P5. And Chris Boy, what side does he go on to? I think it's hards. Not a very interesting approach. Actually, that might be really bad timing to go from mediums to hards. I'm not
sure. I'm not sure if maybe it was a bit too late to get onto the hards.
Yeah, maybe. I would have, at this point, if I was Chris Boy, I would have done a few more laps on those mediums and tried to do a good 15 laps on the softs. Because we saw with, who was it? I forgot who it was.
Wolf, who went on the softs.
Yeah, but someone did a good 15 laps on soft. Acer. It was Acer.
Yes. As we go on board with them now.
With Acer, the man who's trying to go to the end on the hards. Well, he's done 11 laps on them so far. He's looking good for a P10 finish. Actually, sorry, a P9 finish here. Coming out the final corner. Oh, makes a bit of contact with the wall. Is that good? No,
he made a bit of contact. He made a bit of contact with the sausage curbs and then the wall. So I'm not sure if he's still trying to rubber in those tires. I'm not trying to say I'm an amazingly experienced person, but in most of the cars you drive, it does take a few initial laps to find that rhythm because each compound has different turning points, different brake points. It takes some time to sort of rubber in, I'd like to say, the line and try to see exactly where everything goes. ASM, I think he's pulled off quite a decent undercut there actually, because he's up into P2 now. And I'm pretty sure he was in P6 before the initial chain of pit stops.
Outguard pitted. Outguard's gone to softs. So I think we've just accidentally ignored that, but Outguard has pitted. He's going to softs. He's going to try to finish on softs, I think. But for the main man, the Frenchman, Daker, he's leading once again. And it's not just a small gap. It's a gap that's nearly doubled. Actually, it's gone even more. Almost 8 seconds to ASM.
But I do want to bring some awareness to the fact that ASM is on softs and Daker's on mediums. Sorry, Daker's on hards.
Yeah.
No matter how many buckets of talent this guy has, I don't think he's going to be able to hold off a car on softs. The question is, how quickly can ASM close that gap? Because if he takes too long, then those tires are going to be short by the time he gets to Daker, and then he's just going to pull back. But if he can close those, seconds quicker, then he's already when we were talking about him, he was at a gap of 7 seconds, and now he's at a gap of 6. So I mean, he is closing quite rapidly. Yeah. And Daker is setting 104s at the moment, so it depends what the pace is.
I think this is just a brief moment of ASM catching up. I don't think it'll do much. Maybe a short battle. But ASM's going to have to pit again. Daker does not need to pit again. It's going to be very interesting. Here's Clockst getting so close with Wolf Landry. Oh, into the wall goes Clockst. And Wolf Landry, he goes wide. He's been making that same mistake at that corner so many times. And that's why. Oh, here's Clockst. And the stewards, or a steward, telling me at the moment, live telemetry wise, ASM about 2 seconds a lap faster than Dakar on those softs. But when will those softs become shotty softs that don't work? We'll find out. And it's the same for Wolf
these
Landry,
two-
you could say.
These two absolutely scrapping it out. I think we were talking about this, weren't we, initially? The sort of fall off point for the softs. I think the cutoff is starting to come into effect here. The sort of advantage Wolf had starting to drop away. He's still able to keep his ground. He's still able to keep going, but Clocks, meanwhile, slides down the inside. Wolf then takes the position back. He's able to keep ahead, but for how much longer? I don't think that advantage is there anymore. It'll be a matter of time.
Yeah. Those
As
times,
DRS swings open for the hyperdrive car, how is it going to go into this corner? Yeah, you can tell, braking much later than Wolf. He's trying to size up an opportunity here to just get past. But at the moment, he can just wait until the Wolf stops running, and he can just get past because he's got the slipstream, he's got the DRS. There is no real need to rush and overtake right now. And down they go into the main straight.
From Clockst. The rear end just let loose there, and Wolf Landry back through again.
Yeah, looks like he clearly is wanting to get past, and he does so into this corner.
Ooh,
very wide exit.
That
very
rear is so
small.
loose. That rear is so unbelievably loose, and they're side by side now. Wolf Landry, I think, is gonna edge ahead, but Clockst is just looking. Oh, shut up. But Clockst is that rear end is just so loose, and look at how close they are. But will it work?
Yeah,
DRS open for Clockst.
It looks like Clocks is really being very aggressive with the throttle inputs there. The back end sliding out a lot more than it should have. We'll let those two battle. We'll go and watch what Fernand is up to.
And now, as you can see,
we'll use a split
the
screen and
battle
we'll see what's going on
between
here.
Fernand on your left-hand side of the screen, and of course a battle between Wolf Landry and Clockst on the right-hand side of your screen.
Was that a stationary car, or was that just lag I saw?
There's lag.
Must have been lag, yeah. Sorry, I'm just looking for exciting things
Ooh.
now. But yeah, clearly very, very close-knit between these two. There's never really sort of any dead moments in the races this season from what I've seen. There's people always battling. Like, you just never really get a second to breathe unless your name's Dakar. So my credits goes out to the people driving tonight. We're currently on board with Fernand at the moment. Get that on the main display. He's currently
someone was in the air. I'm loving the lag. I'm seeing Wolf Landry and Fernand in the same on the same frame. That's we're gonna have to see.
Yeah, let's
but that was someone that was way ahead. That was close.
Oh yeah, that's a PMP. That's a PMP car. I'm not sure if that's the guy in 15th.
Was it a pimp car or something? I think I think it was Ratty. Was that Ratty? That was very. That's.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Oh, wow.
I'm not sure. We'll find out in a minute. Let's go back onto the main feed.
Or it's just lag from our screen. But back to the live broadcast. Fernand losing a bit of time. Meanwhile, Clocks, what's happened to ASM as he pitted? ASM's down in P8. So he's either pitted or made a massive mistake because guess what now?
I don't think he's pitted. He's still on the softs. Unless he's gone for a new
I'm looking
set.
at the live. He's just went from third to... Oh, he lost...
He has pitted. He has pitted. Yes, he has pitted.
He's gone for another set of softs.
So does that mean the tyre is not able to go to the end? Does that mean we're going to see Wolf pit as well?
Well, Dakar, outguards on softs. Dakar 10-second gap between him and Outguard. It's looking
Oh
good
yeah,
for Dak
I've
there.
literally just as I was saying, Wolf's now into the pits as well. So I think that is the soft officially hitting the cliff. We were very interested to see if that tire could be taken to the end, but I think
It would have never,
the-
no.
it would have never, yeah.
Going to be really difficult.
So Outguard, however, might be the outlier because he was so long on the medium before going over onto the soft tire that he might be able to make that tire go to the end. There's only 12 laps left, and he's showing good pace. He had a bad start, and he made it back up to the podium, and then he had the pit stop, and now he's back up into second. Like, he's definitely working that car to his advantage at the moment. It is a 10-second gap between him and P1. And
so at the moment, looking at the times, Outguard is actually quicker than the Frenchman in P1. But are there enough laps, and will the tyres hold up to the end? It's going to be interesting, but I don't think it will. Going to find out. We've still got
we
a
are
good
just
10
going to have
laps.
to be patient.
And now on board with, well, not on board, sorry, but as you can see, here's Ratty. He is actually up in P4. That Ratty, I didn't even know he was up in P4, but guess what? He is, and now he's fighting with Clocks for P3. Did you expect that? Clocks was out in what,
Yeah,
Q2?
no, I was not expecting that hyperdrive to be up there in the slightest.
Ratty was out in Q1. Wow. Unbelievable race
You'd have
from
to pinch
Ratty.
me. You'd have to pinch me there to say that because
And with 10
those
laps
two did not have a good qualifying.
With 10 laps to go, Ratty is surely the driver of the day. Surely. If he's gone from being knocked... Oh, actually, he's in the pits now. Forget what I said. He's into the pits.
Oh, you've cursed him, buddy.
Ratty, mediums to soft. Gotta be. Gotta be. It will be. Ratty, soft tyres for him.
Right. Well, I mean, on that same like trajectory that we were talking about. I mean, Clock started P14 from this race, and he's currently in P3. Will he pit? I hope he doesn't. It is the hard compound tire, and he could possibly stretch that to the end. We've only got about 10 laps left, and while the cars behind are starting to close in at a rapid pace, a good result for Hyperdrive is what they need right now. Currently sat in P6 in the standings. I'm not sure if he can get a podium, but it would help them massively. But yeah, I mean, that tire and just compared to the Crake and the Golf car behind him, I don't think he's going to be there for long. But definitely want to keep an eye on. Let's see where he is. As Fernand's currently catching up to him right now. He has set in the faster lap times. I'm assuming he's also on the fresher rubber. Let's see if he can size up a move on the hyperdrive car here. Let's see if Team Green can have anything to say about Team Purple and Yellow. Is he going to have a good moment? I think Fernand's just gotten the move done and dusted there. Not much fight put up from the hyperdrive car. And Fernand in the Crake up into the podium positions. It is really just management now for Clocks, in my opinion. Just try and see if we can get a good finish in the dying stages of the race. In regards to Fernand, I also think I'm not sure. He could be absolutely rapid in the next few laps, but I don't think he's going to be closing a gap of 20 seconds unless he goes for 2 seconds a lap, which is a big ask. Someone, however, who I do think will get the position if we go right behind Clocks is the ASM.
It's Clocks all around the outside, hard v hard. Crake versus Hyper. Clocks is getting so close to the back of Fernand. So someone's just said the weirdest thing to me right now, and then to the back of Fernand sounded so weird. Anyway,
something that isn't weird is that ASM's made it past Clocks, and Clocks is now down into P5.
He's gotten past Fernand as well.
Goodness
ASM, look
me,
at the speed from the man.
2 in 2. Goodness me, I didn't even see that. We're going to have to get a replay of that.
We're going to go to the Romula One replay here in a moment. Hold on.
But
Let's have the nice
yeah,
transition.
that was
Here's
insane.
the Romula One replay. Yeah, well, ASM just got past really quickly. I think he just had a way better run. What was that run through the opening turns?
Yeah,
That
he
was
had a very good run.
unbelievable.
He
That
had an
was
insane run.
unbelievable. If we were
I-
talking about a few years ago, that would be like, is he gravity hacking? I'm not trying to make any theories, but that is.
That was
Am
insane.
I
Yeah.
allowed to swear on stream? I don't think so, but
I don't think so. Keep it family friendly. But
that
yeah,
is
that would
that
merit
is
a swear
Ohio.
word. Yeah,
That is so Ohio
that is
for
crazy
just
in
for
my
the
opinion.
family friendly for the kids. That is so. That's blimey.
I think
Sure,
what
let's go
happened
that.
is Fernand and I'm not sure. I think Fernand
I think Fernand was
and
hacking.
Clocks just had they just didn't have a really good run into those corners, and at the same time ASM did. Compared to the fact that he's on the soft tire as well, it all just came together. All came as part of a package deal. He just went and took both the positions. So, I mean, my hands are up for the Golf Motorsports racer up into the podium positions. Think that's probably where he'll be finishing. Outguard also not looking like he's making much progress. He was closing the gap, but as we said, that soft tire is going to die quite quickly. So he's now dropped back down to around 10 seconds. So I'm not expecting much change in the top 4. Top 5, however, we have got Chris closing in on the hyperdrive of Clocks. If we can just have a look. I'm not sure how his lap times are comparing at the moment, but is that something we should keep our eye on in the final few laps of this race? Not to rush anyone in the broadcast, but it is something viewers should look at. We're also some people to watch.
There we
Thank
finally
you.
go. Here's Fernand once again, lap 40. Oh no.
Oh,
We're having some troubles with our idiot producer.
well, let's not go there. But yeah,
Sorry, Kota.
currently watching
Chris
Chris at the
Boy
moment.
on our screen.
Very lovely livery. I must say the liveries have improved since that first preseason thing we were watching. So I'm glad that's happened. But yeah, no, we are currently just watching him, seeing at the moment on the soft compound tire, trying to see if you can close the gap to Clocks at the moment. It was about 5 seconds when I begun the debate, and now it's down to 4. So keep your eye on him is all I'd say, really. We've not already got much laps to go in this race. So it is going to be a bit of a tall order to ask him to not only get to Clocks, but also overtake the hyperdrive. But keep your eye on him. That's all I'm going to say, really. And I definitely do think he's lapping faster as well, just because of that tire difference. And yeah, he's currently sat in P5 in the standings, ahead of Clocks by about 2. But he's ahead of him by 2 points. So this will help him in that initial drivers championship fight if he can get past him. But if he doesn't, it'll help Clocks get into P5 in the drivers championship.
has gained. So quick news update in the top 2. Outguard's gaining a lot of time. He gained 6 or 7 tenths last lap.
And
Well, the gap's now down. I think is it down?
Kvyat out of the race?
Oh yeah, but he was lapped ages ago.
Yeah, but I mean, so late, so really quickly on into the race, he's just gone and sorry, not quickly, so late into the race. I thought he'd finish, but I mean, I guess it's just all come to naught in the end. He's just gonna have to settle for a DNF.
Oh, someone's crashed. It's
Toots.
Toots
Oh
is
my
out.
goodness! I literally said, I was hoping this guy would at least finish, man. Oh goodness
I want to give
me.
Toots a medal. Oh no, I like
A
him
medal
for some
for
reason.
not finishing. What is that?
Not finishing. I want to give him a medal for not finishing. So,
Well,
as
yeah.
you can see, we're moving to Ratti. Where is he? Well, he is in P8, which for someone who was not at in Q1 is unbelievable, I'd say. But with
Ratti
3
really
laps
steering
to
the
go,
PMP team forward at the moment. They've tried changing the driver of the other car. It's not really working out. But Ratti is someone that Primus is able to sort of team boss on PMP, is able to really just sort of depend on in these initial stages as the team starts building themselves up. He's currently fighting with Cubson at the moment. Very, very close-knit battle. Just goes to show how people are absolutely scrapping out here for these final few points positions. And Cubson, I think, has just managed to make the move, but don't cancel out Ratier K. That's some insane pace in that driver.
Oh, something's happened. Okay. Well, with 2 laps to go, Daker, the Frenchman who's dominated so much every single time, is leading and is sure to win for the second time in a row a race in Romula One. He won in Greece last week. He's going to win here in Berlin, and I think he's not even surprised. Brief. Here's like the news highlights. A brief, good 10-lap battle for the win between Daker and the train pig, but it also amounted to nothing as the train pig crashed out of the race. Then Daker was briefly pressured from ASM for the lead, but it didn't amount to anything either. And now Daker, as he starts the penultimate lap of the race, is leading and on course to win his second race in Romula One in a row.
Yep, Daker.
So we're going to see, well, soon we're going to see championship graphics. Will Fernan overtake? Will Daker overtake Fernan in the championship?
I'm gonna have a look at that. I'm gonna have a
Oof.
look. I don't think he will.
Ooh.
I-
What is how many points are in it? A good 20 points. He won't. No, he will not. A good 23 points in it. Fernan is still.
I'm
at
sorry
this
to
moment,
interrupt there,
top
but
of the
Super Jope has also
standings.
just crashed. I've just heard that
Oh,
as well.
we're about
Obvi-
to see the final lap. Let's go to Daker. Surely we need final lap. Final lap of this race has started for Daker. Let's quickly go to a replay. But by quickly, I hope quickly, because I think we all want to see the winner of this race. What's the replay? Oh, Coopson's. Oh, that's unlucky for him. Now,
Here we have
let's.
Daker currently coming on the
Yeah,
final few corners here.
final
The
few
the
corners.
Frenchman in the Sparks Racing car. He has a motto. He comes into leagues and he does what he does best, absolutely incinerating the competition. He had some slight worries at the start from the train pig. We thought maybe he'd finally be able to win his first race this season, but a crash early on meant that was not going to happen. However, something that everyone would probably put their bet money on is that Daker would come and win here at Berlin. And as he crosses the final few line, a mini burnout and then a big one. That seems to be the case. It's going to be Daker winning once again in Romula for Sparks in Berlin. An absolutely amazing performance.
Daker.
And who would have seen that coming?
And Daker, the man who, well, every time he comes into a league, he dominates. And as he dominated in Piraeus, he comes to Berlin, he conquers, and then he leaves, winning, owning Berlin. Daker, for the second time in a row, wins in Romula One.
It'll be P2 for Outguard after that initial mishap at the start. I'd say that's a great finish for Outguards. Another P2 to add to the tally. And then we have ASM in thirds, his second podium of the season. So, all in all,
What
a
a
good
race.
race. And we've got to give some respect to Clocks as well, having made it up into fifth again.
Top 5
so
for Clocks.
2 top 5s. So very nice job. Very nice job from the Hyperdrive driver there. He's managed to hold off Chris there. Chris, who seems to have dropped a couple of positions. I was interested to see if he'd get past Clocks. He's actually lost 2 positions instead. So I'm not sure if the tire hit the cliff for him at the end there. But yeah, what a race. What would you give that a rating of?
Honestly, a lot happened. Not the greatest race I've seen in Formula One. I'd give that a fair 8. it was good. It was entertaining for a lot of moments. Here in Parc Ferme, in the paddock, out of the car comes Dakar for the millionth time in P1. Dakar
Something-
wins in Berlin.
Yeah, honestly, amazing performance. And something I will like to bring to attention is obviously, I mean, mistakes do happen, but I will be interested to see what happens with Acer and that pit stop havoc that happened, because that has cost him quite a good finish here today. Sat in P10 at the moment. It'll definitely be interesting to see how it's managed. It's obviously not my place to provide opinions on, but I do hope that both parties involved will be happy with whatever happens. And now we are scheduled to have an interview with Dakar, so
You're gonna have an interesting, yeah. As he walks into the media room. Yeah, welcome. If he's in,
I
let me
think
have a
Hello.
hello, Dakar. Well, it's not the first time you've won, and it certainly won't be the last. Well,
Oh yeah.
we think, but
Uh,
Dakar, you've done really well today. You've been exceptional, start to finish, pole, win, and I believe fastest lap as well. But for the first about 10 laps, whilst you had a great race, there was some pressure. There was a bit of a battle between you and the trained pig for that win.
mm, nah, I will not. Watch my
Dakar,
back.
awesome. Awesome stuff.
Well, Train Peak is quick, but I'm way too focused on this UCL final right now. It's like a tie Dortmund
Honestly,
versus Real Madrid.
yes. I've been watching it as well.
I've been watching it on the straights.
I I mean, so far it hasn't been the most exciting.
Yeah, there's been
The
like
peop-
3 occasions, like 2 Dortmund corners. There was a
Yeah.
post as well.
So for the idiots who decided not to watch
Whoa, Real Madrid.
the UEFA
Wow,
Champions
okay,
League final, it's currently
that's close.
Borussia Dortmund 0, Real Madrid 0 at Wembley Stadium in London in the UEFA Champions League final. Actually, I wouldn't call you idiots because Romula One has been a bit more exciting, to be honest.
Apparently
The-
not for Dakar.
Apparently
Yeah.
not for Dakar. Well,
I'm
that's
literally
just Dakar
watching
things.
the game right now.
So
Well,
So
Oh no!
with the added context that you were watching the football match, was that the reason you weren't as you might have not been as quick? Was that the reason that you basically let the trained pig stay with you in that battle, or was
Oh,
he
well,
just really quick?
I drove like 20 minutes in FP3, 15 minutes, and then I had to practice in quali to get raw pace in. Real Madrid just missed the post by like a meter. Otherwise would have been goal. God damn.
Jesus, yeah,
Train Pig is quick here. Good battle. I don't know what happened to him. Disconnect or just crash or
he
whatever. Cat.
crashed. He crashed. He bounced off the sausage curb, I think, and hit the wall.
Well, I hit the wall as well, but I was lucky not to get damaged because I got dirty air from guys overtaking me in the final laps on softs.
Well,
Almost
actually,
DNF'd.
the train hit that wall about a good, I'd say 3 or 4 times before crashing out.
Oh, I hit
So,
it once. So skill issue again. Ah.
but for the rest, were you, especially with ASM catching up rapidly, were you phased by that, or were you just driving off into the distance, no pressure?
When he disconnected, yeah, pretty much. I just drove and managed to gap just the tires, and I saw Outguard just doing medium soft one stop, whatever he's done, whatever.
And with
Pretty much
these,
worked because he was quick, and I
Cool,
was
cool.
stuck behind the dirty air of the soft runners, like the back marker of
yeah.
soft runners. They gave me dirty air. I was running half a second to a second slower because I did not have DRS and understeer.
Well, thank you, Dakar. We have been told by Casta to get the next people on, so we will proceed to do that. But enjoy the win, or maybe the UCL final at this rate. Depends on whatever you're enjoying more. It's quite obvious in my opinion. But yeah, thank you for putting on a good show, and enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Yup.
So we've now got Acer and Gur here in the commentary booth.
Kian, would you like to ask some questions?
Well, Asa, you were looking really quick on those softs. Of course, it was because you were on soft at the start of the race. But with your pit stop, what happened? What happened with the red light? Why did you lose so much time?
Yeah, so basically Costa forgot to open the pit lane again. So when I hit the when I went to the pit lane exit, then I just hit an invisible wall, and I lost like 20 seconds. So I mean, bro, Costa, if you're
Well, it
listening
was
to
sorry,
this,
so it's fine.
Costa, if you're listening to this,
Sorry,
you
so
gotta
it's
give me
fine.
back my time, man, because that's your fault, bro. That's no excuse.
Yeah, it was a talking point on the stream. I saw that happening. I was kind of confused why you were just sat in the pit lane. We do have like vision lag, but I was like, nah, this is way too long, bro. So
Yeah.
I'm
yeah,
afraid
it's
that was
it's
vision
it's
lag, to be fair.
I'm very certain that had that not been the case, you would have definitely finished up a lot higher. But obviously, overlooking that, how do you feel with the pace this weekend? Did you feel that you would have been able to take the fight to the front, or yeah, just talk
Yeah,
us through it.
I think my pace this weekend was good. Like I almost got pole position, but I got purple sector 2 in quali, but I fucked up the last sector. But after that incident in the pit lane, then I was basically out of DRS and I had no slipstream, so I was just losing time. So it's a missed opportunity, I think, and it's going to cost me in the championship.
Absolutely, mate. Well, yeah, currently sat in 7th. It could have been a good opportunity to get some points, but I think more in case answers wanted after that race. But yeah, Kian, do you have any other pressing questions?
Uh, well, honestly, how difficult for you? So it was really hard to gain that time back during the race. But so, do you think this will really like handicap almost your championship now with this simple mistake that honestly shouldn't even been a mistake in the first place? How much do
Yeah,
you think it will affect your championship?
I think it's definitely going to affect the championship because, all of the people fighting on the championship have gone up in points while I only got 1 point now. So, I mean, if Costa does nothing about it, then I guess I might just be out of the championship fight.
Well, we hope parties do come to an agreement, and hope we can get out of this with stuff to learn for the next one, and hopefully, Acer, you can get something out of it as well. But thank you. That'll be the last question for Acer. We've now got Outguards here in the commentary booth. Can you hear me? Can I hear you?
Outguard. Oh Jesus, that was a voice crack. Outguard. Where did Outguard finish again? Third, right, or second?
He finished second. Second. Yeah. So
P2. Outguard P2. It looked like a pretty good race for you, especially that end when you were starting to gain on Dakar. But especially at this, but at the start, let's start off with where you would normally start in a race. The start itself. What went wrong? Because you went down the order so unbelievably quickly.
Skibidi Sigma Pomni, Digital
Okay.
Fortnite Chamber, Free Giga Chat Reese, Oh My God, Flow, XXX Temptation.
And Outguard, how did the pit stop cycle with going to softs and stuff? How did that go for you? Because those tires, the softs, moving to them was a bit of a bold strategy. It's like a win or lose situation with the tire wear. And
great answer. Thank
the
you.
ending. The ending with you catching Dakar, but it wasn't enough. In the end, P2, how do you feel? Let's answer that with silence as he's just left.
Well, I think Caster's gone and euthanized him actually, but could have been that he saw
Amazing.
the error
he's
of his
back.
ways and left. Oh,
He's
never mind.
back. P2.
All right, cool.
Let's
Well,
have a
I
look at the
think
podium.
we're done with Outguard and his amazing soundboard. I think
Shenanigans.
it's time for the podium ceremony. And yeah,
It's been an awesome race, an awesome weekend.
Well, yeah. First up is gonna be ASIM. I'm trying to see where exactly this is taking place.
Surely first is going to be third place, right?
Yeah.
In Acer. Ladies and gentlemen, third place from the Berlin Grand Prix. It's ASM. And he's had
Yeah.
a wonderful race. A good podium for him.
In second place, Outguards.
Outguard.
Obviously, very, very good. Good way to get back into the action there. You know, I kind of thought it was a bit of a write off from him at that start, but it's great to see that he came back not only with the strategy but with the tires as well. And obviously, your winner. I'm very surprised as to who this is. Who could it be? It's Dakar, the Frenchman
Dakar.
coming
The man.
into it.
I don't know what
He-
was better about Outguard this race, though, his performance or his interview. He
I'd
was.
say neither. No, I'm joking. I'd say his performance for sure, because that interview was
Yeah.
a bit painful. But yeah, Dakar, first place. You know, he missed the first two races, but he's done that before.
They scored and they almost scored again.
And yeah, appreciate that, Dakar. Thank you for the live match.
Real Madrid
update.
1-0.
Well,
Yeah,
Dakar, the winner, the man who comes and dominates every single time almost. He's done it again. And at the top step of the podium, he can kiss that gold trophy because the Frenchman has won the Berlin Grand Prix.
Yeah, I won, but where's my...
so yeah, appreciate that
Yeah,
from
Castan, where's my
Dakar.
Robux?
The prize pool now most certainly going to him. But if the
Course.
train pig can get something, just iron out those mistakes that he had, I'm confident he can come back and fight again. Get Dakar in front of a TV with some football, and we might stand a chance at a title fight, ladies and gentlemen.
Ooh,
This
yellow
is
card.
going to be an awesome season as Dakar wins 2 in a row. He's catching Fernand, ladies and gentlemen. Will this season be close?
As
Well-
the champagne gets put out.
Wait, I'm catching.
You can. Will this season be close? Well, you can find out. Join us next time for Spain, for a race in Spain.
Yeah.
As
Spain,
it's going to be
gracias.
just as close. Well, we can say gracias next time, but for now, it's danke from me